Hi boys and girls, it's Miss Grace. Today we are going to finish our snow person story. So I have my story here so far, the first two paragraphs. I think it's definitely important to reread what you have read so that you can pick up where you left off and continue writing, and also to look at the pictures. So here are my four pictures, just as a reminder. So in this first one, we were learning about our characters and our setting. We know that my Snow Girl was built, and her name is Evie, and I'm sorry, my Snow Girl was built, and her name is Snowy, and the maker is Evie. So that what we learned in the first paragraph, and Snowy was trying to figure out what to do, and then here in the second paragraph is where the event started. Snowy decided that she wanted to sneak into the house and bake cookies to surprise Evie with delicious chocolate chip cookies. And then a problem happened. Snowy started to melt. So now here we're going into our fourth paragraph, which is our fourth picture. And our solution is that, my solution, excuse me, is that Snowy escaped just in time and that Evie came downstairs and found the cookies and was really excited but really confused as to why and how cookies were being made. And then the timer was going off, and that's how she knew, and she could smell it. And then here I have Snowy got right outside the front door just in the nick of time, and her scarf got caught in the door, and she's starting to look a little on the wonky side, a little bit different from melting a little bit. And I put over here that it was becoming closer and closer to daytime. The sun was just starting to rise, but it was still dark outside. It still was dusky. So like I said, we need to go back and read the first two paragraphs and then can start writing from there. It says, one dark and snowy night, my maker made me into a beautiful snow girl. My maker's name is Evie. She's the most thoughtful and kind snow girl maker ever. Evie gave me the prettiest purple scarf to keep me warm on this freezing cold night. She also found a delicious smelling carrot nose, gorgeous blue heart-shaped buttons, and a hat to keep my head warm. Just a comma there. Evie yelled, "Good night, Snowy," down to me after she was inside and ready for bed. I sat on the snow-covered ground looking at the twinkling stars above, wondering what I should do tonight. All of a sudden, the best idea came to me. I'm going to sneak into Evie's house and give her the biggest, best surprise ever. I'm going to bake her yummy chocolate chip cookies. I quietly slid into her house and found all of the ingredients and supplies I need to make cookies. Luckily, the mixer was out for me. I measured, dumped, and mixed all of the ingredients. Of course, I didn't forget the chocolate chips. Then I put the first batch of cookies in the oven. Oh boy, I was getting hot with the heat in the house on and the heat from the oven. I looked at the timer I had set, and there were still 3 minutes left. What am I going to do? I whispered to myself. So now I'm going to write my fourth paragraph to match this picture here. Okay, so here's my fourth paragraph. So remember, I left off and I reread it again at the end. What am I going to do? I whispered to myself. And this should actually start up here. We skip a line and then, remember, we skip a line and then indent. I couldn't wait a minute longer. I had to get out of there fast. I was melting all over the place. I could feel my body changing shape. As soon as I got out the front door, the timer went off for the cookies. Oh no, I whispered to myself. I didn't want my cookies to burn. A few seconds later, I heard Evie run down the stairs. She was excited to smell the freshly baked cookies, but she was also very confused as to why there was no one in the kitchen making the cookies. Oh well, Evie said. I guess I better get these cookies out of the oven quickly. Evie got the cookies out of the oven and enjoyed a freshly baked cookie. I tried to be as still as I possibly could so that she wouldn't see me out of my place near the front door. I could see my scarf stuck on the front door and knew that I had no chance of getting it back. I needed to get back in my place, in Evie's front yard before the sun was fully out and before Evie came outside to play. Now for my last paragraph, I'm in my fourth box of my pictures. And in this box here, the sun's out, everyone's up in the house, the lights are on in the house. Here's Evie walking out, and she says, "Oh my!" And then here's Snowy looking very disheveled, which means very not put together, very different from the beginning of the story. And Evie is also carrying the scarf. So in our last box, our snow person is back to the house, but looking very different. Because remember in the story, which we were kind of basing it off of and kind of using as a mentor text. So we use Snowman at Night as kind of like our mentor text for inspiration. So in the end of the book, the little boy wonders, what do snowmen do at night, because it looks so different. So we want ours to look different, and we need to write our closing for our story. So I'm going to jump back to the writing, and we're going to go from there. All right, so here's my ending. It says, before I knew it, Evie was running outside, excited to tell me about her exciting cookie breakfast. So I actually would try to pick a different word here instead of having two excited and excitings, but I'll fix that later when I go through the editing process. I had just gotten back to my place, the place where Evie built me the night before, when I heard, "Oh my!" screech out of her mouth. She was holding my scarf and staring at me in disbelief. Evie thought she was confused with cookies. Now she was really confused. She looked at me and said, "What in the world did you do last night?" It took everything in me to hold back my smile. All right, so there's the ending to my snow person story. I hope you guys have fun writing yours. Remember that to reread your first two paragraphs to make sure that your third flows with it. Get your third paragraph done, your solution to the problem, and then the fourth paragraph, your snow person needs to be back outside of the house, and maybe the maker comes out and realizes what's happened to you and kind of questions it as well. Have fun with your writing, and I'm sure me and your teachers are so excited to hear them and see them. Bye, guys.